everybody, this is Alyssa from Main Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for what I always tell you is my favorite month, or my favorite video to do each month, and that is the month in review. And today's month in review is for the month of July. So we are going to take a look at all of the canvases I got done. I had a couple weeks of vacation this month, at the beginning of the month, and then again at the end, towards the end of the month. So I actually got a lot of diamond painting done, and I'm super pleased with how many finishes I had. Considering some months earlier this year, I literally finished maybe one canvas. So this has been a very productive month, and I am super excited about it. So first up, we have Cloud Kitty, and this is by the artist Angeline Arts, and this comes to us from Swartz Designs by Abigail Marie. This was in her Valentine Advent box. And this kit is a 60 by 60. It was poured glue, of course, as all of these are. Had 42 colors, round drills. It came with 4 ABs, but then she also charted an additional 6 ABs and a metallic drill that were added on in addition to what it came with. And this one I started on the 22nd of June, finished it on the 3rd of July, and it took me 26 hours and 58 minutes. So this is the original art. You can see a super cute image. This was my first finish for the month of July, my 26th finish for the year, and my 73rd finish total. Apologize for that. So what I had to say for this one, I absolutely loved the color. I was totally loving and feeling the vibe of this color palette. It was just heavenly colors. I loved the vibrance of this, and this entire bottom, that's so much AB charted into, added into the bottom right down there. I loved that. The oranges in the bottom, ABs, here's the metallics right up here. So I loved all the colors, all the ABs right in here, some ABs up into the purples of the purple clouds that we have up top. So many ABs up in those clouds there. A few ABs over into the clouds right up in here. We have some scattered throughout right in here. Like I said, all the metallics of this. ABs over into the arrow. There were ABs all over this, and I absolutely loved that. I thought that was one, and then there's ABs right through here as well. So that was one of the things that I absolutely loved about this, and that made it absolutely wonderful to do. And my favorite part of this was all of the sparkle and the shimmer of this, and I loved the color palette. The color palette was heavenly on this kit. The thing that I could not stand about this kit was that basically the entirety of it was essentially, we had some areas that were color blocking, like this patch, the face, and then you'd have small sections of color blocking, a little bit, you would think this would be a big swath of color blocking. No, you have a section of color blocking, right here would be a thin section of color blocking, and then a massive section of pure checkerboarding where literally every other drill was a different color. And especially this entire bottom section of oranges, that entirety where it looks like it's pure AB, no, that's literally every other drill is a different color. And that was essentially single placing. And it was that is my definition of not enjoyable. I love color blocking. I don't mind having areas where you have a lot of color changes like that. But when you're doing the entire massive section as basically single placing, that to me is not enjoyable in any shape or form. So this was I loved the color palette, and if I did not enjoy the colors as much as I did, that would have been sheer hell to kind of get through. But I loved the colors, and that was what made me be able to muscle through and keep up with it, is I enjoyed the color of this canvas so much. And I loved this gradation of tones, and I just could not, I just the checkerboarding. The checkerboarding is what just drove me crazy. And you can tell up here in the top, that entire top is checkerboarding. And that was the thing that got me, was the checkerboarding. But this was my first finish of the month. And as you can see, super cute. So that is our Cloud Kitty. So now we're gonna move into our second finish. So our second finish of the month, we have Ohana, and this is by the artist Leah Barazzi, and it is from Bella Art Diamonds. This is one of their very first releases before they rebranded everything to Bella Art Diamonds. And this kit was lovely to work on. This is a 40 by 50. It's full drill, poured glue, 36 colors, round drills that had 3 ABs, and the AB placement was just pristine on this. I loved the AB placement. This one, I started on the 28th of June, finished on the 4th of July, and it only took me 13 hours and 12 minutes to finish this kit. That's literally it, and it's not even like a color blocky kit. There's some color blocking, but I mean the entire background is not color blocking. You would think it looks like it would be from a distance, but like this is multiple colors. This entirety is 2 colors right there. It's like 2 shades, and then this is the 3rd shade. So the entire background, you couldn't really do heavy color blocking like I like for the background. There was a lot of different colors that you had to place. The only thing that made it go so fast is because it was small. But this was a dream to do. I absolutely loved it. I'm excited to do the owl that I have by the same artist that I just did the unboxing for 2 days ago on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. So, and it's got that a similar background and a similar feel because it's from the same artist, Leah Barazzi. But I loved this. The AB placement was like on point. You've got the beautiful 5200 ABs all the way around the flowers. The hibiscus has beautiful ABs, 5200 ABs all the way around it, which gives it that beautiful glimmer that you're seeing a very subtle shimmer for. It looks really good in person all the way around. You have some scattered into our little octopus as well to give extra shimmer. A little bit in his eyeballs, and the depth on the eye is beautiful. And then you have a couple different shades of red in the flowers right through here. But AB placement on this was spectacular. This was my 2nd finish of July. It was my 27th finish of the year and my 74th finish total. So on this, I said no issues. It was a pleasure to do. There was some color blocking confetti mixture. So it was like a good happy medium between the two. It wasn't a color blocking paradise, but it wasn't like a pure confetti canvas. So it was a good happy mix. But that was finish number 2 for the month. And then we come over here to this little cutie patootie. So this was one of the kits that I got from the Great Lakes Escape Retreat. And this particular canvas, I'm going to bring us down a little bit for it, is my first ever complete, this is my first ever complete crystal canvas. And I'm still like, I'm on the fence about how I feel about a complete crystal canvas kit, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like I really liked how the image looked on the canvas before I turned it into like a fully crystal canvas. So I feel like it kind of turns into a little much becoming like a fully crystal canvas, because I feel like you lose some of the depth when it's the entirety is in crystals. But this is a little phoenix. This is from Crystal Canvas Art Designs. It is a 30 by 30, 36 colors, round drills. They're all crystals or rhinestones. I started this on the 29th of June, finished on the 5th of July, and it only took me 6 hours and 51 minutes. It was my 3rd finish for July, 28th for the year, 75th total, all crystals. It was kind of tricky doing the crystal background, and I've decided I'm kind of not really a fan of the full crystals. I think if I were to like if I were to have this exact same canvas all over again, I think what I would do is I would I would want to essentially, instead of having it as this background being the crystals, I would probably want to do like a solid color background, because I feel like that would help stand out a little bit more and have a little accent, because I feel like you lose some of the depth of it with the entirety of it being crystal, because you can see it's not really coming through really well. Let me try turning on the overhead. Yeah, you can see it better with the light of this, but you lose some of the depth of our little phoenix in there. It just kind of loses some of its depth and color. And there's some really pretty colors on this, but you lose some of that. So that is our little phoenix. Now, I'm not going to move some of these because I'm hiding a mystery canvas underneath here, but we're going to kind of shuttle over to our 50s diner food. This is one of the mini Dazzles from Diamond Art Club, and these were a pleasure to work on. They are pure special drills, mostly the fairy dust drills. This one, they're all like roughly 10 by 15, and that's the size of the canvas, not the drill fields. So 10 by 15 poured glue. They're partial drills. This set has 23 colors in it. They're squares. This set also has 2 ABs, 1 iridescent, and 20 fairy dust. And the 50s Diner, the artist for these is Pixie Sticks for the 50s Diner set. I started these ones on the 6th of July, finished them on the 6th of July, and it took me 3 hours and 27 minutes. And this was my first of the Diamond Art Club mini Dazzles sets that I did. And you can see these are what they look like right there. So those are the designs that we did. So we have our taco, because tacos are good. And I never thought of using like an iridescent or a rhinestone crystal, whatever you want to call it, as like melted cheese, but that's what they did right there. And then we come over, my favorite one of all of them was the pizza slice. I think for these, I kind of need to have the overhead on to give us that brightness of there. You have the pizza slice. I did a post review on these, so you can get a closer look that way. We have our ice cream cone. We have our drumstick, which is marvelous. I love the color and the gradation of those tones. And these are all specials, which is so fun. Then we have a hot dog with its bun and the melty cheese. I feel like I need to flip it around. Does it want to be that way? I think it wants to be this way. Yes, it wants to be this way. It was upside down. So now it's right side up. And we have a classic American staple, a burger and fries. And that has ABs and then the melty cheese, which is the crystals. So that was our 50s diner one. So that was the first of the mini Dazzle sets that I did. And I'm kind of going in the order of when I finished these things. Next up, I did... Let's see. Next up, we are going to pull up the crafters. Well, actually, next up we did, I kind of was in a mood to do some cross-stitch conversions. So I ended up doing 4 little mini cross-stitch conversions. And I finished them all on the same canvas. So we're going to pull them up and we're going to look at them all right here. So the first one that we did is this one right here. And I got them all from the same shop on Etsy. This one right here is Chibi Haku. And they're all going to be Studio Ghibli inspired little cross-stitch conversions. So this is Chibi Haku right here. This is basically, it was a roughly a 14.5 by 16.3 centimeter roughly. Little cross-stitch conversion, had 14 colors. Square drills obviously is what I did them in. And I started this one on July 6th, finished it on July 7th, and it took me roughly an hour and 38 minutes to actually lay all the drills down once I picked it out. And I love doing these little mini cross-stitch conversions. I picked out 4 of them that I could do that would all fit on the same page. And the first one I did was on the same sheet, and I'll eventually cut them apart so I could have them framed and do whatever with, but I haven't done that yet. I just placed them down, but I did the Chibi Haku first, which is super cute, super adorable, and I decided to do a white background for that one because I felt that would go well with the Chibi Haku. And that is my 7th, the 7th cross-stitch conversion that I have finished. Next up, I did the Tiny Gigi, which is this one right here. I did Tiny Gigi, which is a 10 centimeter by 12.3 centimeter. It came with 5 colors, and then I added the pink as the background. It is squares, full drill. Started on the 7th of July, finished on the 7th of July. This one also took me an hour and 24 minutes to do, even though that one took like roughly a little bit longer. And you can't even tell, but there is some color depth right in there. My placement's not the greatest, which is why you see some gapping in there for the drills. And these are cheap drills that I'm using. I'm using a nice canvas. Check out the blank canvas from Jaded Gem Shop. But the drills that I'm using are just cheap. I think they're the Art Dot square drill pack that you can buy off of Amazon. That gives you all of the drills. That's what I'm using for this. But because I wanted to make sure I liked it before I invested in good quality everything. So I have like the full DMC packs for the Art Dot drills. And that's why I've got these, and then I've got Tiny Gigi there, and I just love the cuteness of these. Next up, that was my 8th cross-stitch conversion. Next up, I did the stacked heads. And this was my 9th cross-stitch conversion that I did. And I love these. I mean, look at how adorable they are. And then, of course, I added the background. And I picked the background color that would go well with it, with the greens and the browns of this. And that one is a 7.5 by 15 centimeter cross-stitch conversion, 11 colors. I started on the 7th of July, finished on the 8th of July. It took me 2 hours and 12 minutes, and super cute, as you can see. I love it. The pattern the original image, as you can see, looks like this. So I basically picked what I felt like would look good as the background, which I went with a color that I had a lot of, which was this blue. And then the last one that I did, that's of my 10th and final one that I did of these little mini cross stitch conversions, is this one right here. This is Mouse and Bird. It's a 10 by 20, 10 colors. It started on the 8th, finished it on the 8th. It took me 2 hours and 9 minutes. And this one was super cute. And then I added just the plain basic white background because I had a lot of the white. And I think these are actually like the ones that I had in my hoard for this background. I think these are actually, because I think these are nicer ones. So I think both of these with the white background may actually be, no, those are, yeah, there are the basic. They're like 38.65 is what the background is for these, because that's what I had for basic drills. But I mean, look at how adorable those are. That's supposed to be a mouse. It makes me think of a hippopotamus for some reason. But I mean, they're the cutest little thing. These little cross stitch conversions are so fun to do, and they just turn out so adorable. So those are the 4 additional little cross stitch conversions that I did. I just like, that one's my absolute favorite, but they're just such a pleasure to do. And this was, I had to turn this one sideways. This was the only way I could fit all 4 of them on the same 30 by 30 canvas. And I'm all about maximizing as much canvas as possible, which is why I did them like this. So now the next canvas we're going to look at is going to be the Crafter's Den Summer Mystery Canvas. So if you do not want to see this and have it spoiled for you, do not watch this section of the video, because I am going to be spoiling this Crafter's Den Summer Mystery Canvas for you guys, which is why I've left these like this, because we're going to take a look at that canvas and reveal the Crafter's Den Summer Mystery in 3, 2, 1. Reveal time. Ta-da! So this beautiful, beautiful canvas is our Crafter's Den Summer Mystery Canvas. And this was by the artist. I mean, she is absolutely stunning. I know I'm jingling that. This is an absolutely stunning canvas. I love it, love it, love it. So this is the second mystery kit that we've done for the Crafter's Den, which is Sophie, the Diamond Help Desk. This is her Discord server that she hosts is called the Crafter's Den. So anybody who joins her Discord, you can find that link. If I forget to link it below, which I probably will, you can go over to Sophie, the Diamond Help Desk. You can go over to her channel, and she'll have the Discord linked down in the comments of any of her recent videos. But if you join that, she's partnered with the Jaded Gem Shop to create a quarterly mystery canvas. And each month or each quarter, it's going to be a different artist. And usually the only people that know what the image is going to be is Jade and Sophie to pick out the canvas. And it's a mystery. And then you get to work on it together as a group, share your progress in the group together, and it's just fun being able to do that. So this is the second one that we've done. This is by the artist Lily's Wonders on Instagram, which is Lily Kovalik, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a summer themed canvas, as you can see, and I absolutely love her. She is stunning, and it just gave me all of the Hawaii summer vibes. So it is a 40 by 50 square drill canvas, 56 colors, 4 fairy dust or glimmer or pixie dust, whatever you want to call them, charted into this. And this is actually a pixel charted or hand charted canvas as well. So Jade did go through and take the time to actually hand chart this. So this does not have the normal confetti that you would find in a Jaded Gem Shop canvas, which made this, to me, even more of a joy to work on, because you guys know I'm not a fan of confetti. That did, however, make it a little bit more challenging, because the software that Jade uses to do her pixel charting has different symbols than her normal, than the software that her the rendering team that does the rendering for her canvases regularly does. So this was kind of like one of her early hand charting canvases. So it was like a learning curve to find which symbols does she need to not include on there because they're too similar to other symbols, that type of thing. So there's a learning process to it that she's learning, and so this was a good experiment to say, okay, can't have those 2 symbols on the canvas together. You need to not have, when this was kind of like, as we were going through it, we're like, okay, those are too similar. So there were a couple symbols that I didn't have any issues with, but different people would have issues with as we were working on it. So some of those would be like, we called this one the soup mug, and then there's also, as you come down, the one close to it was the steaming coffee mug, which was very similar. And there was other ones that looked similar as well. I organized my symbols so that way all of the things that looked like each other were next to each other in the tray for the symbols. So like was next to like. So it made it easier when I was hunting for symbols to know that I wasn't placing the wrong symbol in the wrong place. And that just made it overall easier to delineate those types of things. But as you can see, absolutely stunning. There was, my favorite part of the entire canvas is our little turtle guy right here. He's super cute. And I love her hair and how her hair flows out. I did stock, because Sophie did put like a spoiler up that you could click on if you wanted that told us the artist's Instagram. So if you wanted to go stalk their Instagram, you could. And I stalked her Instagram and kind of guessed that this was probably going to be the image. But then as you're unfolding it quadrant by quadrant, you don't really know what it's going to be until you've actually unfolded the entire image. So it took me until the end. I kind of knew what it was going to be, but I didn't really know what it was going to turn out to be until I actually did it. But I don't like having to actually do mysteries because that to me isn't nearly as fun as working on a kit. The one thing that I did run into with the pale colors up here, there was some gapping. So I did go back through and actually use some mica powder and fill in some of those gaps up in these light colors right here with the mica powder, and now you can't even see that gapping up there. Everywhere else, the gapping didn't, the little bit of gapping you get in some spots, which is more me placing things very badly, because I'm not a good placer when it comes to squares, didn't bother me. It was just the gapping up in the white, because white is so much more noticeable with your gaps. That was very obvious, but now you can't even really tell, and it doesn't bother me when you see it, because I filled in those major gaps with the mica, especially over here. I didn't do as well of a job over there. Mochi, get off my shelf. Don't even. You're a little toot. So this is I should probably talk about my stats for it. So I started this one on the 6th of July, finished it on the 16th of July, and it took me 18 hours and 20 minutes. And I did it in 16 sections. So this was my 4th finish of July, because I only count these big ones as finishes. My 29th finish of the year, and my 76th finish total. And I did say that some tricksy to distinguish symbols, and it was pixel charted. Those were my 2 comments for this one. So next up, I decided I was like, I need to go through and I need to do the retreat canvases before we get too far out from the retreats. So first up, I decided to do the first retreat that I went to, which was the Crafter's Paradise retreat. So I worked on the Crafter's Paradise 2024 retreat, which is from Rose Profit over at Rose Profit Creations. So this is a 40 by 40, 50 colors, round drills, came with 4 ABs, and I think that it was charted for, annoying motorcycle going by. Yes, it was charted for 4 ABs. So this I started on the 13th of July, finished it on the 19th of July, and it took me 11 hours and 27 minutes. This is the original image, what it looks like right there. Crafter's Paradise retreat, and that technically says 2024. I don't know why that picture is different than the words there. My 5th finish of July, 30th of the year, 77th total. And I did get the enhancement set from DP with Sparklers, and I did feel like this entirety of this canvas had unnecessary confetti. It just everywhere on this canvas was unnecessary confetti. The nice thing, using the enhancement set, I was able to get rid of a lot of that unnecessary confetti in her hair, because it would be like 3 symbols would be 1 color of the special drills for her hair. So there would be 3 symbols would be this light pink. 2 or 3 symbols would be this medium pink. Another symbol or 2 would be this dark pink. Same thing with the greens. It was like all of these all of the symbols that are in this color range would be this green right there. So I was able to get rid of a lot of that unnecessary confetti. And then there'd be certain ones along like the border. You know how you get the borders of things where it's like you have 25 different colors of drill around like the border of an image. Like right around there. Half of the time I would look at that and I'd be like, that's unnecessary. And I would start to remove a lot of those unnecessary confetti drills and colors around the bordering area. So I started to do a lot of that as I was working, but I could have done more of it. Also, the words Crafter's Paradise 2024 were supposed to be like each word and each letter was probably 10 different colors. And I was like, I don't got time to do that. That's annoying, not doing it. So I basically worked on Basically kind of started doing it as I missed like this downward portion of the P right there, looking at the original art there, because I didn't have this with me because I took this kit with me to Washington when I visited my brother. So I was just working off of this tiny little picture to see what was actually charted as words, because they were supposed to be very similar colors to the background. So I was like, okay, what drills do I have that in my tray that I could use enough of? And I didn't have enough to make everything the same exact color. So the 2024 I made like crystal. The Paradise ended up being like a 939, and the Crafters ended up being a darker blue, because that's basically what I had and could do. But I loved the extra bling on this, and I love how the enhancement set turned out and how sparkly it is. I just couldn't do the confetti of the words. So if I were to have done this over, I would probably, as I have a drill, this got all sorts of, like, you know, it was in my suitcase, it was rolled up, it was mangled, and I didn't do carry-on. I checked my bags because I'm not about that carry-on life with my suitcases. I check all my bags. So this was rolled up with my other canvases in my suitcase, in the checked baggage. So I'm surprised that more drills didn't start popping off. And I haven't rolled it since it's been laying out. I should probably roll it now that I'm back and it's flat. Anyways, so that's the Crafter's Paradise one. So a lot of unnecessary confetti in this, but a really adorable image, and it was a nice experience to work on a Rose Profit Creations canvas. It does have the nice canvas, the creepy soft backing, all of that stuff that everybody loves. So that was this one here, and it was an adorable little mermaid. Next up, we have Tulips, and this comes to us from Enabler's Outpost. This little cutie patootie was in their, I think it was the April mystery box for this one here. So I started this on it's round drills, 16 colors, came with no ABs, but it did have, I think it did have a couple, no, did it have any glimmer drills in it? I think it had a couple glimmer drills that it came charted with, yes, a few glimmer drills. I started it on the 19th of July, finished it on the 20th of July, and it took me 4 hours and 22 minutes. So this one, I did add a few special drills to it because I just couldn't resist. I started it on the 6th of July, this was my 6th finish of July, my 78th finish total, my 31st finish of the year. I wrote those numbers a little weirdly. And I did add a few special drills to it. So I basically kind of looked through the bling that I had purchased from Jaded Gem Shop, that I had just in little baggies, because I was throwing together stuff that I would take with me to Washington to visit my brother, and I just had some bags of drills just sitting on the table, or sitting on my desk still, and I looked through my bag of drills that I had sitting on the desk and was like, okay, what do I still have? Let me see, and pulled out some colors that I thought would go and just tossed them in my bag and tossed them in the suitcase. So I used a Crystal 701 in place of the 905 that was charted, and I added that as like part of this green stem to add a little depth to the green right through there, and I felt like that was a perfect addition. I also added this Crystal 3607 in place of the 601. So that's this pink crystal that we see throughout the canvas, right here, adding the accent in this depth right here on the petals. That was that Crystal 3607. I also added AB 3607 in place of the regular 3607, and that is going to be our one of our two ABs that we have added in here, because we have a couple different ABs. So I added the AB 3607, and then I also added an AB 3608 in place of AB 3609. So those two pink ABs added in the flowers, and that makes these flowers super pretty. We're going to turn this on so we can get a nice glimpse of how beautiful those petals are. I also, if you're noticing that, I also added, to add some interest to the background, a border around the canvas. So since I had leftover drills after working on I had some leftover drills after working on our Crafter's Paradise kit. So I was like, well, guess what? I have some extras, so let's work with those extras. So I used, I think I don't remember what kit I was working on that had the extra ABs, the 5200, but I had them in my bag. So I had them with me, so I put the border, a border of AB 5200 that you're seeing right there. And then I alternated between the pink, the light pink, and the dark pink crystals that were used in random bug, sorry. The crystals that were used in our Crafter's Paradise retreat canvas. I'd have to grab them to see exactly which crystals. So I alternated between this light pink and this dark pink of those crystals. And let me see if I know exactly which crystals those were. I think the light ones are a sparkler neon raspberry, and then I think the other ones are a sparkler fuchsia, I think are what the other ones are. But they're 2 sparklers are what I used for the border all the way around, because I thought that added a little bit of interest to it and broke up the just straight white background. But this one was a fun little kind of like palette cleanser in between that I did, and I loved it, and it was super fun to do. So next up on our item du jour on our tour that we did is going to be one of our Paintgem sets. So I also brought with me a Paintgem set that I worked on, and I had finished part of it earlier on a duty day at the hospital. And that was the birds. It's all for the birds. So the birds are 10 by 15, poured glue, partial drills, 37 colors. They're squares, as all Paintgems are. And these ones I started on the 6th of July, finished them on the 23rd of July, and they took me 9 hours and 39 minutes. But then you also have, there are 16 different birds. So we have our penguin, we have the toucan, then we have a peacock, and I love the peacock, super fun. My favorite out of all of them is our pink flamingo, and then we have the titbird, and then we have a little Christmas robin, an owl, which I like tormenting Sophie with pictures of, and then you come down and you have a parrot, a pelican, we have a pheasant, we have an eagle, which the beak bothers me on the eagle, though it looks a little off. We have a hummingbird. These ones are some of the coolest birds ever. These little ones right here. The crane bird. And we have a swan. We have a pigeon, which looks more like a dove than a pigeon. And we have the last one being a mandarin duck. So those are our 16 little Paintgem minis that we have right there. So that was that set, and was another mini set that we did. And then the next up that we had, before we look into this one, the next set that I finished was the mini Dazzles, the makeup set. This is also by the artist Pixie Sticks. So these are 10 by 15 partial drill squares, 23 fairy dust in this set. I started this set on the 23rd of June, finished on the 23rd of June. Took me 2 hours and 51 minutes, and it was my second mini Dazzles to complete. And you can see this is what they look like, all 6 of them. There's 6 in the mini Dazzles. We have our, like our little, whatever it's called, the makeup pad, our nail polish right there. Then we have our lipstick. We have our mascara brush, and the depth of these reds in here is just like spectacular. Like there's so many different shades of red on that. It looks so good. It's hard to capture it in camera. It looks so good in person. Then the eyeshadow, giving me like 80s eyeshadow vibes right there. And then the eyeshadow palette right there. So that is the makeup set. And then next up, and probably one of my favorite little finishes that I've done, is the mermaid. And this little mermaid was a little kit that we got as one of our goodie bags from the Crafter's Paradise retreat. And this is it's from Jaded Gem Shop, and the artist is actually Jade herself. And this little mermaid, I basically went through and essentially almost completely recharted the entirety of this kit. So it has 13 colors. It's a 15 by 17.5 square drills. I started on the 20th of July, finished on the 20th of July, and it took me 2 hours and 45 minutes. But I spent even more time planning out what colors I wanted to do for it. Because basically I changed her hair completely. And I changed her dress, like her scales completely, her little bra completely, her eyes, and the background completely. The only thing that I kept the same on this is her skin tones. Everything else was basically swapped out. So essentially what I did, I'll bring it up so you can see a little bit better. So her hair is, I basically have the base of her hair is a glimmer, shimmer, fairy dust, pixie dust, whatever you want to call it, of this light brown. And then I used a metallic brown to kind of accent. And then we also have a crystal drill in there because I wanted that accent. So I added this crystal in there to add this like teal aqua color into her hair. But then I also added the metallic that you can see to add a further depth. So it wasn't just one shade of brown throughout. It kind of gave her hair a little bit of a depth. And then we have the darker back of her hair, or the inside the shadow, with a darker metallic right there. And then I did the same thing for her hair over here. Her eyes, I did the same colors as I did her fin, but I used green metallic for her bra, and then I have a dark green metallic for this portion of her tail fin, and then we have a, like, this really pretty blue fairy dust, shimmer, pixie dust, whatever you call it, for right here. And then the third one is a blue AB right there. So it's got that gradation of tones. The outline for the upper portion of her is black, this is 310. But what's really cool is her tail fin. That is a dark green crystal for her tail fin, which looks really cool. When it catches the light, it looks really pretty. And what didn't turn out as well as I was hoping for, but it's kind of subtle. I needed to do a better blending job. I was hoping to, instead of doing like a normal blend of tones for the background up, I kind of wanted to do like a blend of tones this way, where the background started as like a blue, this pale blue AB, and then kind of blended into a white AB, which blended into a, or like a bluish white AB, which blended into a very pale, pale, pale blue. It looks almost white, but it's actually a pale, pale, pale blue, fairy dust, pixie dust, whatever you want to call it, drill. And it all does it at a diagonal, which is a very subtle thing that you can't really tell very well. Let me see if you can tell. You can kind of see it better like this with the light catching it. So you can see how it comes up at the ABs are right here, and they fade into that that fairy dust or pixie dust right there. So you can see that fade right there. Same thing, you can see how the blue comes up. There's some white. I need to blend some more white into this backing. Or not the white, because that's not actually white. That's a very pale, pale bluish tone. It just doesn't come through well. But I need to fade more of this tone into here to give it more of that look, so it doesn't look so solid down here. But you can see the blue fading, the darker blue fading into this tone here. And then from here, you can see it fading up, and you've got the AB fading into the shimmer, pixie dust, fairy dust there. But I love how the rest of her turned out with the depth in her hair, and that's like my favorite part. So out of like all of the kits that I finished this month, I think this is probably one of my favorite ones. I mean, look at how it's so little, but these ones that I got to play around with bling, like I loved playing with the Tulips kit, and I loved playing with the Little Mermaid and adding so much extras to her. Like, it was so much fun adding all the extra bling to it and just planning it out and just going like rogue off of the kit, not even going off of anything that was even charted for it. Like, I completely added all this extra metallic, wasn't even charted in there in her hair. The hair was charted to be all one color with these. These were supposed to be like a darker brown right here for an accent, where you've got those. I just kind of went, where there was like one or two of those, I just went like wild and did whatever I wanted in her hair, and like completely recharted her hair to kind of give it that depth that you're seeing. And I love it, and I love how it turned out. But that was super, super fun to do. So the next canvas that we have, I know, too much talking. Next up, we have my other retreat canvas, and this one is our Great Lakes Escape Retreat 2024 canvas. This is a 50 by 50 canvas. It is round drills. It has 32 colors, and it was charted with multiple special drills. I forgot to write down exactly how many specials it was charted with. I need to add that to my stats, but we've got a crystal, we've got an AB, crystal, AB, hematite, so a metallic, and then a glitter drill. And then we added a glimmer or a pixie dust drill and a pearl for squares into it as well. So those are all the extra specials we did. This one, I forgot to fill out my book on this one. Okay, let me pull up my iPad. I started it on the 20th of July and finished it on the 28th of July. So I just finished it a few days ago. And it took me 13 hours and 49 minutes. So I loved, this is actually from DP with Sparklers. So that's where this kit and canvas, and it came charted with all the mixed drills. So this one was a DP with Sparklers kit. And I love the fact that it did not have all the extra confetti or anything like that. Which was wonderful to do. Whereas the Rose Prophet one was a lot of confetti. This one did not have the confetti. It was basically all color blocking and no unnecessary confetti or anything. And I love the fact that it like had the gradations, the fade where everything should be. I liked the AB ring around right here. That was wonderful. You had the color blocking perimeter, color blocking everywhere that needed to be color blocky. I enjoyed this. This was super fun to do. You've got ABs outlining the escape. You have ABs in the water, ABs in the Michigan, ABs in the Canada, ABs around the New York, and then you have the water as crystals, which, you know, it's water, so it needs to be crystals for water. The camera is outlined, the dark gray you see for the camera and the binoculars, that's the hematite, which is the sparkler, or the metallic sparkler type thing. And then this one got beat up pretty well because it was a little bit long for the container that I traveled with it in my bag. So I'm like amazed at how well it flattened back out, because there was some major crimples in the canvas, which you can kind of see in the back right here, because it was just a little bit too long and it kind of got scrunched down traveling with it because I roll them up and then I put them in a tube. But this canvas was a little bit too tall for the tube that I was doing and my suitcase that I was traveling in, because I only carried my small suitcase. It was all I carried with me. So this was my, I forgot to write my stats. So that one is my 7th finish of the month. So I finished 7. My 7th finish of the month, my 32nd finish of the year, and my 79th finish total. Of all time. So I have finished 79 what I consider big canvases. My paint gems and my minis and all those other things are different. So that completes my finishes that I've done. So now we're going to roll into my whips. And I'm actually doing really good because I only have 3 whips and I'm super happy about that. I know. You guys are probably super sick of seeing this as a whip. But first whip that we have right here, I should have taken the time to finish the last couple drill placement. Last 3 days of placing drills, but this is my dragon stitch along, which is made completely, minus the border. This guy is made completely of our fairy dust or pixie dust drills. So he's all specials. He's super cute. And I went with like a softer, kind of like more muted color tone. I did have to add some colors, some more like peachy pinks to him, because even the lows, because this is daily lows. My other one is daily highs. This one is daily lows. The daily lows in July have been a lot hotter than I was expecting. So I kind of only budgeted up to a certain temperature range. And then I was like, he's going to be awfully boring if everything ends up being like all one shade for the rest of the month. This would have been like a solid block of one color. And I'm like, I can't do that. So I had to add a few more colors and extend my range of colors up a little bit more than what I had been doing. So I added a little bit more to them. And that's why we start seeing a little bit more of like this color here and then this color here. And there's going to be a couple more colors that we'll add in that kind of go along in this color family there. That'll go darker. But that is our temperature dragon. He is coming along and we're basically halfway. Once he gets this little prong there, he will be halfway done, because we'll just have this section and his mouth to do, because that's July. Then we'll have August, September, October, November, and December down here. And we'll be halfway through with him. Well, we are basically halfway through with him once I finish that right there. So that's our daily lows. And now we have our daily highs, which I did give us an update once I finished June. And I basically finished July minus, so we're going to come down so you guys can see, minus the 2 dates right here. Because I need to pick what colors. I finished all of July. We had like one day that was in the 90s, or like one day that was down into like the, all of July was above like, let's see, these are 110s. These 2 days that are not filled in are 120s. I did not, I have to pick out what color range I want for the 120s. And then we're back into the 110s. We had 2 days that were in the hundreds and 1 day that was in the 90s. So that's what you're seeing there is 100, I think, and then that was like a 90, 100, and then back into the rest of the time being up into our 110s. That's what all of these colors are 110s. So I'm loving this gradation of tones, how we start like really cool and then we start slowly warming up. My favorite months are March and April, like this section from like right here in through these colors here, those teals and aquas coming through. And then we kind of roll down through and then we start into these tones here. But it's like really looking nice. So now we are officially, we've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I just have to do those 2 days. And now we can start into August. Woohoo. This is like coming along nicely, you guys. I'm so pleased with this. So that is definitely making good progress on it. So I have to look. I'm like, am I running out of space on it? I'm like, I might be. I have to see. Did I plan this and get the right size? How is this working? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm like, that's 6 of them. And I'm like, it looks almost like, well, that's 1. Oh, I'm having this moment where I'm looking at it and I'm like, that looks like it's not enough canvas. And I measured this to be the right size, but it looks like not enough canvas. I'm like, okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe it will be. I don't know. We're going to see. We'll see how it goes. I may have to move my bottom border. That's why we're filling in this bottom part last and why we have extra just in case, because I may have to move this outline down a little bit. We will see. If I have to move it, I have to move it. That's not a big deal. But anyways, that's what we've got for whip number 2, which these are my long-standing whips. And then whip number 3, I finally started, after talking about it for forever and a day, I finally have started the Storm God. I've only worked on it once. I spent like an hour or so working on it, and I only got like a little bit of this section done. Like I got that whole little section of it and some scattered drills placed right in here. So that's all I've gotten placed on this so far. Because there is a lot of confetti in this kit. There's going to be like areas of color blocking, but I was picking these colors here to do, and I did not get over to this section here. So this is the Storm God, and this is by the artist Kieran Yumi Lusted. And this is, we'll pull up the stats, a 60 by 83 square drills, and it has 45 colors. It's from Lazy River Crafts, and this is one of them that I originally was going to do for my Lunar New Year DP along. This is what our image looks like. I obviously did not start it then. I kitted it up in February, but I did not start it then. So that is our original image of what it's going to look like. I am super excited to finally get started on this. This is actually my first time doing a square canvas from Lazy River and working with their squares. I do have to say, like, the fact that these are very light colors to be doing as the squares right there. This is my first time working with them, and I'm not a very good placer when it comes to squares, so I need to get better at my square drill placement when it comes to things like this. And I do really good when I can color block. When I can color block my placement for my squares, I do much better, especially when I'm getting started with a section. But when I have to like do single placing or like doing confetti for squares in a section, especially with these light colors, it doesn't look the greatest. So that's why that section's kind of rough. It'll be better when I come down and work on this section. I'm anticipating that will go better just because this is much more color blocky, and I'll be able to place my squares closer together in like a color blocky pattern, and I'm anticipating that will go better as I start into the color blocky stuff. But for right now, you can kind of see this is what I've placed. I've done this whole section right here, and then I've started some scattered placement of drills up into here as I go, kind of like the outlining of the water wave area as we go on some stuff. So that's all I've placed on this so far, because I wanted to catch up on my cross stitch conversion. I felt like that was more important, to catch up on the cross stitch conversion, because I literally had not placed a single drill on the cross stitch conversion since like June 25th until I got to like 2 or 3 days ago. I think I started working on both cross stitch conversions this weekend, and I did my dragon over the weekend, and then I worked on this on, I think, Monday, and then I did that section on on Sunday I worked on this, and then on Monday I worked on my cross stitch conversion. I don't think I did any, and then Monday and Tuesday worked on the cross stitch conversion, and I didn't get anything more done on this since then. So now I can get back into working on this right here. And then you ask, what is my plans for the rest of the month? So we're getting ready to roll into August. So I'm obviously going to be working on this one. So my kits that I'm going to work on in August, we've got this one right here that I'm going to be working on, the Storm God. I don't have a timeline for when I want to complete the Storm God. I'm going to take my time on it because it is a very confetti heavy square. I'm also going to, another of the kits that I want to work on is going to be Miss Ocean by Laura Philippon, which is a Orloa kit. I unboxed this forever ago, but I have not been able to work on it. And I want to get to the point where I can actually work on the kits that I have unboxed, because I think that's important to do an unboxing and be able to show you what those kits actually look like. So I've started to go through any of the kits that I've done unboxings for and try to finish those first, and then go back through and start working on some of the other stuff. So this is one that I unboxed a long time ago, but I have not worked on. So that's going to be one. This is a round. It's 50 by 70. I'm excited to work on it. I think that's going to go well. And let me grab the last one that I have on the agenda. And this one is Moon Love by the artist Sevi. And this comes to us by Diamond Artisan Shop. And this one I did do an unboxing for as well. This one is actually going to be my dual event kit I'm going to be doing for Fantastic Felines, which is hosted by Laura over at Anxiety Art Adventures and Hannah over at Sparkling Spectrumite. They are both absolute sweethearts, and I love them both. So this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Well, I am doing it for Fantastic Felines. I am also dual hatting it and doing it for Sailor Summer because obviously Artemis and Luna. So this is going to be my Sailor Summer kit, which is hosted by Sophie over at the Diamond Help Desk, and also being hosted by Liz. The Sleeping Luna Designs is her Instagram for Liz for there. So you'll have Sophie and Liz as the two hosts for Sailor Summer. But those are the kits that I have planned to do for the month. Anything else that I do is going to be like extra, but the two that I definitely want to, the one that I am absolutely going to finish is going to be this one, is my absolute finish. I would love to do some additional cat kits that I have, so let me pull up and take a look and see. We're going to pull up my Gems Flow. We're going to clear out some of the extras and see what do I have in my cats. We're going to see if there anything that has cat in the name. All right, so if I just look at the ones that have cat in the name, so here are some kits that have cat in the name. I have more than this, but we're just looking at ones that have cat in the name right now. And these are just a few of the cutie patooties. So I'll probably pick small ones that I have. I would love to do Katana. That one would be a super cute one to do, would be Katana. But then I also, I think I actually purchased this one, keeping it like this one from Bella Art Diamonds, specifically with Fantastic Felines in mind. So that one is one that I may end up doing this month as well. I have a lot more than this in my hoard. Incognito is one that I would do, but that's a very high color kit to me. I mean, it's got, oh wait, no, never mind, it's not. That's only 37 colors. I kept thinking that one had a lot of colors for some reason. Oh, I was thinking of the fox. Never mind. So you guys can actually see the images a little bit better. So we've got the cat named Poppy. What other kits could I use for Fantastic Felines to knock them out? Because I've got cat kits. We've got Katana, which would be a cute one to do. We've got like Cloud Witch would be a cute one. I do really like this one, A Day of the Cat. That one would be a super cute one to do. Like, I love the art of that image. So we could do A Day of the Cat. We could do like Dream. We've got anything that's got like a tiger or a feline. I could do another Diamond Artisan Shop, but I'm already doing this one, so I don't want to do two from the same shop. Finding Myself. This one was my Christmas present for my brother. That one is stunning, so I really want to do that one. So we'll see. I may end up pulling out another feline kit to do at some point. I could do that one as well, but that's again the same shop. So we'll see. And I may end up just going rogue and pulling out something that's not even cat related, and doing something not even cat related for my additional kits. Or I could end up doing another cat kit. We'll see. We'll see. You never know. You never know what I'll do. I have a lot of tiny kits that I want to knock out and start doing and do to kind of like get my horde numbers back down a little bit. So I kind of want to work on that. I also really want to work on my custom, start working. I'm not ready to do my custom of Mylan yet. I'm not ready to work on this one. I'm not ready to do her, but I do want to work on my other custom, because that's kind of one of the things that I told myself, that I had to finish my customs before I can order more customs. So I want to also start working on this custom right here, because that's going to take me a while, because there's going to be like a hot minute worth of confetti in it. So I want to work on my Myanmar monks, because that one will have some pretty good confetti going on. So that may be something that I roll out and work on, or I just start working on some like smaller kits that I can knock out and finish quickly. We'll see. I haven't decided. I am going to be doing this one for Drills and Chills. I do want to do this one in the fall for Drills and Chills Pumpkin Kitty. So that one will be more of a September kit, not an August kit. So we'll see. You never know what I'll do. But the only three kits that I have really planned so far, and then everything else will just be as the whim, as I decide, as the whim chooses. So the only 3 kits that I have planned is to work on the Storm God, do Moon Love, and then do Miss Ocean. Those are my planned kits. So if I go into my started file, these are the kits that I have in my like planned to work on. These ones here, right here. I only really technically have 3 that I'm working on. My 2 temperature. These are my long-term projects. This one that I have actually started, and then these 2 that I plan on starting as well. I want to get a little bit, like when I'm tired of working on the squares, I'll pull out one of these other ones and work on those. But anyways, that long-winded explanation of all the things is kind of gives you an idea of what I want to work on, what I've finished, and where I plan on doing as we kind of move forward. And I always will end up doing some kind of paint gems. Let's see what's next on the paint gem side. So my next up is Houseplants 2.0. So if I do a paint gem, it's going to be Houseplants 2.0 would be the next one that I would do. That would be next up on the paint gem side. If I do a mini Dazzles, then the next up would be the classic flowers. This one right here would be the next one that I would do if I do a mini Dazzles. So those are ones that you would potentially see, because those I have to do in order just because my brain works that way. So I would have to do them in that process of elimination. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. We've done a nice long-winded little bit of everything. Let me put my paint gem or my gem slow back. I always keep it in this order like this. I like looking at it like that so I can see the size of my kits. That's my preferred. So anyways, that is what I have for you. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.